Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino, Sunday, July 21st, 2024. My newest segment of Markets, a look ahead. People, let's just sit back here and take in what's going on. Let me start off with this. The situation that is being created seems too good to be true. And when things seem too good to be true, and I'm referring to the markets because they're making it too easy. You have to understand, I do not believe in coincidences. I don't think that this setup here is by accident. Okay, what am I talking about? For how long now, for how many years have you and I been able to capitalize on this freak show around us here? To the point of where you almost feel guilty. Let me be honest with you. Okay, that's the truth. And now, with the particular dynamics that are in play, and we're going to cover a list of things in just a moment, it's too simple. And that should be a red flag across the sky that there's a reason for it. And I believe that's true. And I want to put a perspective on that. You and I have a very clear understanding of this setup here. All the players, what they're doing in their particular roles. I'm talking about politicians, people in office, people running for office, the Federal Reserve, the corporate agenda, all of it. Again, it's too freaking easy. So that tells me that there is a reason why it's being made too easy. What are you and I pretty clear on? We understand that all of this is going to lead up to a grand finale on a scale that people are not going to believe. People are being drawn in to this game around us where nothing is what it appears to be at face value. Henceforth, why this guy is concerned that things are just too easy right now. And they're going to remain too easy for a while, and that means clearly that we are going to take advantage of it. But again, it tells me something else underneath, okay? The dark underside of it. And again, I'm going to cover some things with you here and allow you and myself here to come up with a perspective that maybe we need to pay a little more attention to. Now, I wrote this up yesterday. If you do subscribe to my free newsletter, it's really free. Link in the description of this video. This is in your inbox right now. Personally, I don't care if you subscribe or not. I benefit zero from this, but you do. You understand? I know this stuff. This is for you. I do this for you. You understand? Anyway, look. I want to go through this. And I want to, as I usually do, go through it and kind of add to it. Because I can't put all my thoughts in this in just a matter of a couple of pages. You understand? So let's go through this. And then I have other stuff to cover with you. And I want you to, as I am going through this, I want you to think about what I just said. They're making it too easy for us. And that should be a red flag. So markets, the greatest show on earth. Let's back up to last week. So Jim Cramer, the famed host of CNBC and Mad Money, made this comment just last week. He said, are you ready? The stock market reflects the strength of the economy. I went on to say, Jim here, in my opinion, should run for office. Okay. The obvious reality of the situation is this. Today, more than any other time in history, in the history of economics and finance, there has never been a greater disconnect. You and me have been talking about this for years, okay? Disconnect between the economy and the stock market. Oceans of debt and easy money policy for as far as the eye can see and beyond has created a magic trick. A magic trick which has levitated was the word I used here, the stock markets of the world to extraordinary heights. Now, contrary to what Jim Cramer said, which was that the stock market reflects the strength of the economy, Jim knows that his statement is a con, which is the trademark of a politician. You understand? Maybe Jim is going to run for office. Now, let's move beyond Jim Cramer here. I just wanted to open this up with this. It's all part of the greatest show on earth as well, obviously. So, smoke and mirrors. The real tragedy, this is the part which is very important for us to understand, okay? The real tragedy of this con job state of affairs is the ever-increasing strain which it has put and will continue to put directly on the backs of the middle class. Do you really think this is a comedy of errors? The ballooning debt over the last 3 presidents and all the associated dynamics that have been put in play, which we're going to talk more about in a moment here. In order to maintain this market charade magic trick and to keep it going moving forward, here's the key. Will demand that the middle class endure a much greater and disproportionate level of suffering. What do you and I realize is happening right before our eyes? An extinction level event around the world. Again, stop participating in the game that they've put you in, that is in your little box. Oh, this is a situation that's just here in the United States because it's Biden's fault. They're all at fault for this, okay? And they're all leading us down a very dangerous pathway, and it's too damn easy. So let's keep that in mind here. Only 2 factors are required to keep the disconnect between the stock market and the economy, this levitation act with regard to the market going. And I wrote specifically economy. It's a con job. Number 1, we need much more debt. Now, how many of you, realistically thinking, believe by some miracle global debt, including here in the United States, is just going to stop because of a new figurehead that they're going to put behind the Resolute desk, or the current figurehead? Maybe he's going to get another term here to help destroy us all. So how many of you believe that we're going to see this automatically just turn around? Or do you believe, like Greg Mannarino, that global debt is going to surge to heights which people aren't going to believe moving forward? That's number 1, much more debt. Number 2, a weaker dollar. What are we hearing repeatedly now, especially with this new Vance guy? Weaker dollar, Trump, weaker dollar. So if you have any doubt that we're not going to see a lot more debt, and these things play together, you understand that? Again, how does a central bank weaken its currency? There you go. Some of you got it. What am I talking about? For a central bank to weaken their currency, they have to create a lot more of it. Again, when the Fed or any central bank creates a dollar out of nothing, or a euro, whatever it may be, it's not just automatically worth $1 when it's created, because otherwise we wouldn't see devaluation of the currency. That newly created bill or digit added to a screen, click, 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 isn't automatically worth whatever the issuing central bank has printed on it. It has to steal a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of purchasing power from every other existing bill. And that is the mechanism of how a central bank weakens its currency. You understand? And right now, since February of this year, the Federal Reserve has ballooned the money supply. Don't take my word for it. Go to the Fed's website. Yeah, it's right there for you to look at. The truth is always hidden in plain sight. So, much more debt and a weaker dollar. Both of these things are directly linked together. And of course, these 2 things make the central bank exponentially stronger. The more debt a central bank is called upon to pull into existence, the more that we participate in the system. You understand? When we swipe, you pull cash into the now out of nothing. You think you have cash in your bank accounts? You don't. Okay, we have a zero reserve system. It's all lent out. When you go on your computer, click, 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 click again, and look at those beautiful digits, they're not there. Okay, it's all lent out. The mechanism here, we went from a fractional reserve system to a zero reserve system just to help foster this environment here. When you go out today, some of you are going to buy a new house over this weekend. You're going to sign on that dotted line. That cash is created out of nothing. Poof, like magic into existence. And again, look, as I said in a recent video, we're just equally as responsible. Our politicians give us what we want, okay? We say we don't want a weaker dollar, but we want low rates. You can't have your cake and eat it too. So the platform here pretty much of Trump and Biden now, okay, they're saying the same things, two wings of the same bird. Oh, we're gonna lower, if you select me, we're gonna make sure that interest rates are lower. So you can go out there and keep on borrowing and participate in their system and pull cash into the now with your signature. Imagine our shock. But this is what we're doing. We've done this to ourselves, and our politicians and the Fed is more than happy to lend. You know that. Anyway, so two things, as I said, much more debt, a weaker dollar. Massive and increasing price action distortion. Sound familiar to you? Because you and I have been talking about this for years. If we understand that, are you ready for this? That the show must go on, okay? And if you think it's not going to go on, it is. And again, they're making it too easy for us, like I said. Remember I said that. We're going to talk a little bit more. So the show must go on. Then we, the people in the know, and that's you, if you follow this blog, who are sadly witnessing an economic suicide. That's what people are doing to themselves. And we are powerless to stop it. We can't stop it. Again, the situation has been designed this way. Again, not many of us actually use cash anymore. You want to swipe because you get points for swiping. You get cash back for swiping. They offer you perk after perk after perk to participate in this creation of debt mechanism system. You understand? Unbelievable. They got us by the throat, don't they? And they make it easy for us to do it too. What a con job. Anyway, so the show must go on, and we, the people in the know, who are sadly witnessing an economic suicide and are powerless to stop it, need to continue to stay on the right side of it or be destroyed by it. I created a checklist here for you. Now, again, if you subscribe to my free newsletter, link to this newsletter, or you'll have this checklist. And I want you to pay attention to this checklist. Now, we're going to cover this checklist right now. Below, I've created a checklist of what you can expect moving forward. Number one, more easy money in the form of massively and artificially suppressed rates. Trump and Biden are saying the same thing. Does that tell you that they're both on the same page with what they're going to do or what's going to happen here with the financial system? Talking about, we're going to lower rates here. It's going to be lower for you. And Trump is coming right out of his mouth. At least he's not lying about this, okay? He's saying directly, and his partner in crime, obviously, this is a crime against humanity. That's going to continue here. Weaker dollar, weaker dollar, weaker dollar. Now keep weaker dollar in mind. So again, number one, more easy money in the form of massively and artificially suppressed rates. Number two, a weaker dollar. Number three, a much higher stock market. Number four, higher corporate profits. Much higher corporate profits. They're already making trillions in profit. It's not enough. It's not enough. The fat cats, the big wigs, the CEOs, they want millions and millions and millions of dollars more in bonuses at their year end. They're going to get it, okay? You know how this works. Anyway, I'm not going to elaborate anymore. Number five, wealth transfer on an even greater scale, right up to the 1% and 2%. In case you don't know, trickle-down economics is what we're being sold right now by the current president and the one who is going to become president, because there's no doubt in my mind about that. They want you to believe that by making the rich richer and more powerful, it helps you. Yeah, so let's make them really rich. Let's make them even richer. Here's the next one, number 6. Are you ready? Bitcoin mania. Bitcoin mania, and we know who's talking up a storm about that. It's number 7, a more rapid move to a central bank digital currency. Okay, all this talk about Bitcoin and the crypto presidents here is going to lead us right into, we're asking for it. What do? We swipe, we swipe, we swipe. We don't use cash because they're giving us too many perks. All of this is leading us directly and faster into a central bank digital currency. You understand? All right, number 8, an even greater gap, greater than we have now, we're off the charts, between the stock market and, of course, the economy. And number 9, are you ready? And we're starting to see it already. More lies, more deceptions, and more distractions. The grand finale, though, I didn't put a number on it, is down here. I guess it should have been number 10. But this greatest show is also leading up to a devastating climax and an ending which will shock the world into reality, which we, the people of the world, are not prepared for. And that goes back to how we started off. This is too easy. Now, this list of 9 things, okay, you think we got it right? Or you think we're just way off base here? Okay, I want to hear. Of course, there's going to be those of you that don't have the guts to admit what you know is true in your heart. Your God-given intellect is telling you that these 9 things are true, and they are going to happen, of course. But again, there's going to be some of you that are cowards. I don't know another way to put it, and won't admit to what you already know. So with that said, people, again, they're making it too easy for us. And here we go again. Let's talk about too easy. This is the MMRI. Look at this trajectory here. This is the Fed buying more debt. This is the dollar getting much, much weaker here. As this mechanism continues, and I expect, again, based upon this checklist, this is going to progress much further here. Okay? More asset purchases by the Federal Reserve. A much weaker dollar. Period. What do you think this is going to do? You think this is going to stop the corporate agenda from being fulfilled? The 15% tax rate for corporations that Trump is calling for right now? You think this is going to stop them from being more profitable, or you from swiping to buy their products? No, of course not. Of course not. So this is insane. All right, this is going to inflate the stock market to heights that people aren't going to believe. Again, as the economy is destroyed even further under the weight of much more debt, under the weight of a much weaker dollar, purchasing power getting stolen, ripped off right out of you, right from your bank account again, and you can't stop it. You can't stop it. Period. Whether it's Biden who gets another term, which I don't think that's even possible, especially in light of current events, and we've covered this before the assassination attempt, before it became a lock. All right. That's where we're going here. No matter who gets stuck behind the Resolute desk, could be a farm animal. That's where we're going here. Now let's talk a little bit more here. So this is obviously, this Trump trade right now, and this pullback that we're seeing here, exactly what you and I want to see is a setup. Stock market ruled by Trump trade in the Fed. Trump and the Fed. And Biden and the Fed working as close as they could possibly together to inflate the stock market even further, fulfilling the corporate agenda. And you and I, again, it's too easy for us to understand what we need to do. What did I write here? Wall Street and Washington are in bed together. Duh. Okay. And they're trying. Here we go. They're trying to draw people, as many people as they can, into the current situation, only to fleece them on a scale which is beyond the belief of anyone else. Their heads are going to spin around like The Exorcist, but not you and I, because we have the greatest tool in the history of finance, in my view, to gauge risk. Look, as long as this goes down, we buy everything across the board. We buy all the dips in the stock market. We buy the dips in cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin mania, okay? Remember what I'm telling you here. Precious metals, commodities. As long as this goes, the lower this goes, the more on sale commodities go. You understand? Again, it's too easy. That means we're leading up faster to the grand finale. And let me tell you something about this grand finale here. The grand finale is going to lead to the death of millions of people around the world. The let's just lay it on the line here. Trump's warp speed clot vax is clearly responsible for the death of thousands, tens of thousands. Biden, his policies of war, expanding war, also responsible for the death of tens of thousands here and getting sucked right out of you. Who funded all this? Was it the, let's see, with regard to the Trump's warp speed clot vax that has been responsible for the death of tens of thousands? You realize that you paid for it too. They're laughing at us. Yeah, all the grants that were given to these multi-trillion-dollar collectively pharmaceutical companies, yeah, we paid for that, and they're laughing at us. We gave them the funds for that. Oh, you're not aware of that? Oh, look it up for yourself. With regard to war and Biden's propagation of war, also responsible for the death of tens of thousands here, we're paying for that too. So what they have coming for us, again, not just an extinction level event with regard to the middle class, but the death of millions around the world as the system implodes on itself. And they're doing this on purpose, okay? The hyper-ballooning of debt. What are they going to throw at us next? I mean, again, warp speed clot vaxes, expanding war. Both guys, really? Just a coincidence that we're seeing all this? Maybe in a different form, same thing. Both of them responsible for genocide. But we want one of these guys, right? You want one of these to sit behind the Resolute desk right now? You think that's going to change your life anytime soon? No. They're leading us to our slaughter. And I think we're pretty, at least those of us who understand, get it here. And it's just too simple. But again, the game here is too easy for us, at least from a financial standpoint, to take advantage of. And that worries me a little bit. But again, I got your back, and I will not let you down. When I see this turn around, you all know I am an open book. I will tell you exactly what I'm doing when I am doing it. We've been making all the right moves. We've been light years ahead of the curve on this market and everything connected to it. And we're going to stay there too. Anyway, people, that's kind of where we stand here. One last thing before I let you go. What do you think about this? Berkshire sells 1.48 billion Bank of America shares. My least favorite bank on Wall Street. I think if there's going to be a scapegoat when the system is finally taken down, again, they got to set this up for you. It has to be set up this way. Oh, we did something. We allowed a bank to fail. Yeah, like they did last time. You remember with the whole freaking 2008 with Bear Stearns and the freaking, and of course, I don't know. This whole thing is just a freak show on an epic scale, people. But again, we're ahead of the curve. I want you to think about, again, this is like taking candy from a baby, and that should worry you. And I want you to think about what else they have in store for us. Again, Trump's clot vax, Biden's war, responsible for the death of tens of thousands. What do they have in store for us next? I want to hear from you on this. Greg loves you a lot from the heart, people. I'll see you in the morning. It's just going to be epic. But again, we can't lose. Why? Because we got each other. See you in the morning.